Okay, this video is about one last Paul screen that I'm going to do, and this is by far I believe the best Pauls to use because it's going to work for GameMaker 8.1, and it's also going to work for GameMaker Studios when I convert over to Android anyways. Okay, so this is how to do the Paul. I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like, and then I will go into detail with it. Alright, so this is press 12 to pause. And that pauses there. It still plays the sound in the background. Then you press F11 to resume, and it goes back to where it was originally. And I know the screen size changes. You see how it kind of made it smaller there, but like I said, if you scale it up to 100% full screen, which I'm not doing on my computer here because then you won't be able to see the whole game, then it won't do that. So, because I've tested it out, if you make it full screen, then it won't do that, reducing the size of the window. I'll show you real quick, but you're not going to be able to see the full thing on here because the way my camera's set up. Change it to 100. I think that's all I have to do. If I can remember. No, that's not it. Hold on. Full scale, I think, or keep aspect ratio. Nope, sorry about that. One more time. Full scale. Well, you can make it bigger if you wanted to. Okay, there we go. So now it's big. Then you go F11, 12, and then it still kind of reduces down a little bit, but I don't know. It's one of these settings here. Start in full scale mode. Let's try that. That's probably going to work. Okay, so now it's full screen. I'm not going to move the camera because then it's going to be really off. So press start. Yeah, it's full screen both ways. F12, full screen. F11, full screen. So everything's full screen here. I'm just going to exit out. So you go to make sure that your global game settings is, say, start in full screen mode, and make sure that this is full scale. This I don't think matters because you're having this. You click on this for full scale. Make sure you check that for full scale. But for right now, I'm going to uncheck that, go back to fixed scale, and change it to 50, so that way you can see it on the screen using my camera here. So just keep that in mind if you want to make it full scale in your game. Like it says, every screen goes to full scale. The main screen, the next screen, the Paul screen, everything is full scale on the monitor. So just bear that in mind with the global settings. Make sure that you check start in full scale mode, and then make sure this is full scale here. But for the time being, everything is reduced down to 50% off, 50%, so you can see the whole screen. Okay, so what you do here, in the backgrounds, I have this image here, which is, I just took a screenshot of the 3D image background in the game, and then went into Photoshop and added the pause game. You can use a different program besides Photoshop if you want to, but that's what I did here. I did a screenshot and then brought in the screenshot into Photoshop, and then I added the text. So this is how it looks, and it's in room 10, and also have one for room 9, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so each room there's going to be a question mark here in the edit. It says object underscore go back. There's no sprint needed because it's a question mark, and you don't need a sprint for that anyway. So go to add event, and then you go to key press, and I made my function key F11 to go back, and in and then I have two scripts here, and what I'm doing here is basically deactivating or activating everything. So I make sure that everything is going back to D3D underscore start, so everything's going to be back to 3D, and then I'm going to activate all my weapons here and my images for the weapons, such as the outline square area for your weapons that go there. So that all that's going to be reactivated again, because if you don't have this activated, then it's not going to show up on your screen, of course. So the ammo is activated, my guns are activated, my hand with the knife is activated. So when you and then the second script is a room underscore go to, and you want to say global my room. So that's generic for it, no matter what room you're in. It's going to go to the room that you were in originally, back to where you were originally, of course. And then okay, so that's to go back. Then there's a blue square that says pause level to decorate, and then so basically what's happening here is deactivating you say D3D underscore end, so you want to make sure that all your 3D stuff is deactivated, because you want to have a flat screen and just have one single image, which is that pause background image. That's what you want. So you want to make sure that the 3D is turned off, so that's what this code's talking about. And it's deactivating everything that was activated on your main screen. So your hand with the knife, your weapons you have projected, all that's going to be deactivated. Your keys you collect, the outline box that has the key in it, all that's going to be deactivated. Your ammo is deactivated, so it doesn't show you how much ammo you have. So you want to have all that deactivated, because you don't want that to show up on your pause screen. You don't want to have your weapon here and your outline box of your images of your keys and your weapons and your health. You don't want none of that showing up on the pause game. That's why you want to deactivate it. So when you press the F11 to go back, it's going to reactivate all your stuff, your ammo, your images of your ammo you collected, and your keys and everything like that, and your weapon you have in your hand. That's going to be reactivated once you go back to the main screen. So that's what's happening. And so I had to have room 9 and room 10 with the same pause in it, because I had an issue with when I moved to the next room, it wouldn't pause. So each of my player objects I have, when you press F12, it's going to pause. So when I press F12 in the first room of the player, he's going to go room 9, and it's going to pause. So this is what this is pretty much saying here, this code. And then when you're in room 2, your object in player, and so when you press F12, you're going to go to room 10, which is another pause screen. Because for some reason, when I had object in player, I said go to room 9, just like I did with object player for the first room, it would not pause for some reason. So I had to make a new pause room. For some reason, it's just a glitch in the system, so I had to work around the glitch. So, like I said, in the first room, you are object player. In the second room, when you're outside, you're object in player. So each player had to have its own room. Because I think what happened was when I had, actually it did work for object in player. I did have to go to room 9 and it went there fine, but when I went back to the second room to play it, the sky was deleted for some reason. It was black. It wasn't dark blue like it was originally. So I don't know, somehow it deleted my sky. So when I made a new room for object in player for the second room, and when I went back into the game and play it, it didn't delete my sky. So that's what the glitch was all about. It was deleting my sky for some reason. When it deleted my sky, the sky was completely black. It had no texture, nothing. So that's why I had to make a second room for the pause. Alright, and then in the load, in the load button, you didn't need anything. Yeah, there's no extra code for this. Stuff is old. I've already talked about this pause. This is old. And there's nothing new to add in here for this new pause for the load button. Like I said, I just had to go to object in player for the second room and add a new room for the pause, because it wouldn't, like I said, it worked fine. It went into the room 9 for the second player in the second room, but when you went back to play the game, it deleted the sky. So that's why I had to make another room for the pause. It's kind of weird. It's a glitch, but I fixed the glitch in a way when I worked around it, and it worked fine. So that's pretty much it for this. The next video I'm going to do is going to be screen shake. So basically when you get hit by something, the part of your screen is going to shake a little bit, and then when you completely die, the whole thing is going to shake. So I'll talk about that next time. Alright, thanks for watching.